Jeremy. An app aimed at being a resource for people dealing with mental health crises just got better today. It is called Kansas, A Friend Asks. Laura Moore is the Youth Suicide Prevention Coordinator for the Kansas Attorney General's Office. She is with us today to explain. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
The app, when did it debut and what is the goal of the app overall?
Sure. Well, we released the app last September, and the goal is to serve as a resource for specifically youth, but it really works for anyone that's dealing with a mental health crisis. We know that youth oftentimes go to their friends when they're struggling with life stressors, things like that. So the app is called A Friend Asks. If a friend comes to you describing a mental health crisis, they're struggling in life with something, the app guides the individual, the user, through the conversation, what to say to your friend, what not to say to your friend. And if it gets to a point where you need immediate help, the app can connect you through a phone call or a text message to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988.
So it's really on both ends. It's not just if you're someone in crisis who's looking for resources.
Right.
It's if you are a friend having a conversation with a friend, you have resources for that as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Fantastic. So how much of a demand has there been for this since it debuted?
There has been a lot of interest in the schools. I've talked with so many school counselors, psychologists, school resource officers across the state, and they've shown so much interest in it, especially with the update that we have.
And yes, the update is the big news today because there was a little bit of a gap. We have a large segment of Spanish speakers in Kansas. And today, what did you do with the app?
Today, we updated the app. So if you already have the app on your phone, it will go through an update process. And now users can toggle between Spanish and English. Spanish is the second most common spoken language in our state. And when we shared the app with folks across Kansas, youth, those that work with youth, quickly learned that we needed this resource available in Spanish. And now we have it.
It is.
Yeah.
Why is this so important? What are we seeing when it comes to mental health and suicide prevention in particular that makes this so important to have?
Suicide is going up all across the country, all across the world. Another resource is only going to aid in preventing completed suicides, but also those young people and anyone that's struggling in a mental health crisis. 988 is not just meant for immediate suicide prevention, but rather if you're struggling, the folks that answer the calls that they receive help individuals find the services they need, whether it's substance use treatment or mental health therapy. That's what the number is there for. So the demand is huge, and this is just another resource to help people work through that mental health crisis.
And this isn't just anecdotal. This isn't just people saying, gosh, it really seems like young people are struggling more. The numbers bear this out. The rate of suicide deaths in the age 15 to 17 more than doubled between 2016 and 2017. Right. So we heard a lot about how things increased during the pandemic. This was even pre-pandemic we were seeing problems.
Right. And so we know that suicide, like we have the data saying that completed suicides are increasing. We also have data saying that more and more young people especially are going to the emergency department because they're attempting suicide. They're thinking about suicide. So completed suicide, suicide ideation, thoughts, mental health crisis, it's all going up pre-pandemic, and now we're dealing with the consequences of the pandemic.
And why an app? I mean, I know that's kind of an obvious answer, but why an app that's on your phone?
That's what kids use. Everyone always has their phone with them. We're in the summer, so kids are not in school. They're not with their school counselor. They're not with their school psychologist, the school resource officer, their teachers, coaches, but they have their phone. And so this app is accessible all the time, anywhere you are, assuming you have cell signal, cell service. But it's there to help you find the resources that you need and to remind you that life is worth living and to not give up.
Absolutely. And plus to guide those conversations, because those are tough conversations and people
Right.
always say, I just didn't know what to say.
Didn't know.
And this can help you know what to say.
Exactly.
A friend asks, notice KS for Kansas is capitalized in a friend asks. It's available in English and Spanish. You can download it from the App Store on your device, but also if you are in crisis and need help, that National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is now active with just 3 digits, 988. Call or text anytime. Laura, appreciate it and appreciate the efforts that you are doing to help the young people, and really people of all ages, as you mentioned, can use the app.
Thank you so much.
We're going to switch gears a little bit coming up. We'll get ready for a whole new circus experience. We have a performer with a show that's in Topeka this weekend. Next.